Give me fuel, give me fire, give me all that you desire. Welcome, everybody, to the first inaugural episode of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. That's right. What's going to happen on here is I'm doing a video version, and I am going to upload the audio as well to some platform of some sorts so you can listen to the audio version. Why do this? Here's the reason for that. There's a lot of stories and stuff that I get to that I don't ever seem to get to on the YouTube channel. I read the stories and then I go, oh, wow, but there's so much of it that happens. I thought, wouldn't it be neat if there was some way that I could kind of do maybe a weekly thing and do it maybe video version and put out an audio version for people that want to listen in their cars or work or whatever about stories that I thought was interesting or stupid or silly or wacky. Involving hard rock and heavy metal. So what I said to myself was, that's what I'm going to do. I said, damn it, you can do this. And I says, well, what should I call this thing? And I says, how about Jive Talkin? Because I always like that, Jive Talkin. You could call it Headbangers News Outlet or whatever, but Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo seems to work perfectly fine there. And, honestly, it might be about certain things that aren't hard rock or heavy metal related. But for the most part, it's the things that I'm most interested in is music and stuff and such. So that's what we're going to do right here with this new feature. I ask that you join along with me. If you're on the YouTube and watching this, that's my main situation is, put it in the comments, maybe some thumbsy upsies. I hope not a lot of thumbsy downsies. It may get better. I can't guarantee that. It might get a hell of a lot worse. It's kind of fly by the seat of your pants reading through the news. Remember when Granddad and Meemaw and Peepaw, they used to sit down with the newspaper and then they would just kind of read stories and say, oh my heavens, can you believe what happened there? Oh, they finally nabbed that. They finally got that Adolf Hitler. Jesus, what a great day we're having here. So I thought, yes, that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this and it's going to be hopefully weekly. I cannot confirm that for sure. But I do want to start doing something like this. So won't you join me on this journey? I'm thinking at some point I might go live streaming with it. But for right now, we're just going to be pre-recording the episodes and then releasing them. And I find some interesting stories, some fun nuggets and stuff, and we talk about it. And you can always get in the comments. Maybe at some point I even have like a little phone line or something that you guys could call and leave messages or something. Who knows? You can see the Metallica fellas here, and the Metallica teaches you to be a band in the new masterclass. Before we get into that story, I want to, some people might say, well, Shane, you do a lot of stuff on your YouTube channel. Why this? And, I've explained that, I think, pretty clearly, just a lot of stories that I've missed or whatever. But, some people might say, well, what are you going to deliver to me that, some other outlets, aren't doing? What are you going to give me that they can't give me? And the answer to that is absolutely probably nothing. These are just stories that I've been interested in but haven't had a chance to read through them or get into them. So we're going to do that here. Metallica teaches you to be a band in the new masterclass. Are you aware of what masterclass is? It's absolutely fantastic. Here's what happened. Someone got a subscription to it. They were doing a twofer. Do you know what a twofer is? A twofer is where you get something and the other thing is free to someone else. Well, I was given the opportunity for a free year of masterclass. So I watched Tom Morello, and I watched there's a bunch of writers on there, screenwriters, authors, there's chefs. If you, I'm not a homosexual man, but I will tell you this right now. Watching Chef Ramsay slice open a giant sea bass and fillet it and just leave the head, nothing but bones and the tail on there, it's enough to make you rethink your sexuality, because it's like a beautiful piece of art. But so I've watched the Chefs, and I've watched Tom Morello, and I've watched this. Well, now Metallica, the biggest heavy metal band in the world, arguably, you can't argue against that because it's just a fact. Now they're going to teach you how you can become the next Metallica, or they're going to show you all the tips and tips and tricks that they've learned over their 40 years as a band, and they're going to deliver them to you. So I thought that was interesting. I want to get into what they're going to say here. Metallica are the latest celebrities, entities to teach a master class. And then I told you all about this. For those who are aware, it's a pretty cool idea. It featured skills that made them famous. Samuel L. Jackson's got one on acting. Steph Curry, he'd teach you how to shoot baskets and all that. Gordon Ramsay, teach you mercilessly wail on people who drop pants. That's a joke, right? Metallica seems to be going for the big picture. Their goal is to school you in the aspects of being a band. And based on the preview video, there's a preview video. Oh boy, we got to get into that. Their goal is to school you in all aspects of being a band. And I think my reading will get a little bit better too. I hope so. They seem to be very aware of the internal dynamics of Metallica, especially after Some Kind of Monster. I watched that again, and it says it right here. That were on full display during the 2004 documentary Some Kind of Monster. Looks like they are bringing their wisdom accumulated for 40 years of being a group for you to avoid that. Yes, I would agree with that. I would say that everything that you see in Some Kind of a Monster is to be avoided. But these guys will probably show you breakdowns and also. Let's see what this video's got to say about it. They're all in the room.
Metallica's that family I never had or always wanted that I found in a band.
Right?
Artist of the year goes to Metallica!
I mean, they have all the awards.
Each other, and we continue after 40 years to learn more about each other.
We're going to talk about how we write songs,
how to get the best out of.
I think we know how they write songs.
We're going to break down some of the most classic Metallica songs.
and we're going to give you a badass performance.
This will be cool.
As far as lyrics go, I will have spaces where I need a vocal, and then I'll search through some of my one-liners.
Huh.
How rhythmically that fits. So I'll plug that in and start building around that.
When you're in a band, communication is key. If you have a...
You know, one of my favorite parts, too, of the Some Kind of Monster is when they get Robert Trujillo in the band, and clearly you can tell that dude plays above Twiggy and above Pepper Keenan and everyone else that they have come in for those bass trials. But the coolest thing that I thought about that is when they offer him the $1 million. And then when the lawyer comes in, the smarmy lawyer comes in and goes, all right, so you're going to get 5 points on this. And they go, no, it's a band. He's in the band. He's going to get 25%. That's how you keep a band together for a long time. I've said this 1,000 times, but if there's one guy that's making all the money and everyone else is basically working on a wage, nope, that band will break up. You'll have people coming and going. But if you're 25%, no matter what, hey man, you know, I wrote a lot of this song, but that doesn't matter. We're splitting the profits of all this because it's a band effort. That's how you keep a band going. This seems to be...
Talk about it with a level head.
A mantra for us is whatever's best for the project. That helps to...
It really is amazing these guys are...
In the early days, there was so much just...
There's been times when it's been fractured and it looks like we were on the verge of...
And that guy's a hippie at heart.
30 years ago, we'd come off stage and we'd go, you fucked that up and you fucked that up. Nowadays, we'd go, ha, 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 that was really funny. That was a crazy variation.
No, we don't. Lars, we still think that when you goof up, that it's not, you shouldn't be doing that. Singer James Hetfield says they'll talk about the best out of everybody, how to get the best out of everyone by collaborating or not letting egos take over. That's right. Anyone can tell you that. You don't even need a master class. If someone in your band, if you're in a rock band and you have an idea, and you think it's pretty good, but someone else has an idea and they think it's pretty good and they don't seem to mesh together, you work together to fix it. Or if the guy's riff's better, you let them have that. Let them have the moment. See, I don't even have a master class, and I can tell you that. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? I think that's going to be pretty interesting to watch, and I will definitely watch it because, because I can at this point. Hopefully it comes out before that subscription ends, because, they always say, well, it's free, you don't have to pay for anything, but we do need a credit card connected to it. So they can instantly go, oh, it's the, 366 66 days later or whatever, boom, they hit your card and go, I guess you want another year of it. So I'll have to hopefully see it before that subscription runs out. Since we're talking about 25%, bands working together, W.A.S.P. announces a 40th anniversary celebration. Blackie Lawless promises all the fire and all the blood as W.A.S.P. returns to shock rock roots for 40th anniversary tour. Will the guys from the first couple of records be involved in that? Let's find out. W.A.S.P. will return to the UK for 7 gigs in April. Is that going to be the 40th? As a part of a world tour celebrating the 40th anniversary as a band. Despite now being born-again Christian, frontman Blackie Lawless says the shows will feature all the fire and all the blood that shocked the world the first time. Whether this means that the LA band's infamous debut single Animal, Fuck Like a Beast, will be restored to the set list after Lawless promised he would never play it again, has not yet been revealed. Ooh. Lawless says, for the W.A.S.P. 40th Anniversary World Tour, we're going back to the beginning. We're taking the show back to where it all started, complete with all the fire and all the blood that shocked the world the first time. We only did that. What about the raw meat thrown in the audience? FDA approved rump roast, Complete with all the fire and the blood that shocked the world the first time. We only did this type of show on the first world tour and never did it again until now. ... until now. I'm going to scream and I'm going to bleed because I want to be somebody. We're taking everyone back to the beginning. Are you going to have Chris Holmes in the band? If you haven't seen that documentary Mean Man by Chris Holmes, you got to watch it. It is fantastic. You can see an old haggard rock and roll man. He's vaping. He's smoking the electric vapes, and he's rocking these small clubs, and it's very endearing because, man, I'll tell you what. If you remember seeing what was that documentary, Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2: The Metal Years, when he's in that. When he's in the swimming pool and he's drinking all that vodka, man, you don't think that he's going to be around for very long at all. You've got looks like 8 dates there in the UK, and that's all the information that's going to be there. The band, I would be curious to know who the band is, what the band is, and. I don't think that any of those guys will be there, but I'd like to see Randy Piper and all of them come back. Regardless if you're a fan of the older stuff or the newer stuff that he's done over the years. The good born-again Christian man, the good born-again Christian thing to do would be to turn the cheek, extend the olive branch and say, Chris Holmes, Randy Piper, all you guys, Johnny Rod, get over here. Steve Riley, all of you knuckleheads, get over here. We're doing a big tour, and we're going to split all the proceeds of the tour equally. That would be something to see. I'm a fan of Blackie Lawless. I'm a bigger fan of W.A.S.P. as the unit that it used to be back in the day. But I mean, that's neither here nor there, right? Because no matter what kind of it's so weird to me because when I think about rock bands, when I was young, you open the record up, you read all the lyrics, you know the names. This is Blackie Lawless and Chris Holmes and Randy Piper. it was all right there and you soaked it all up and you knew the faces. And now everyone's so interchangeable, except for like a Metallica or something. 25%, everyone gets their fair share. That keeps guys around forever. But if you have a guy, and I'm not necessarily saying Blackie Lawless is this kind of a guy, but if you have someone that's going, it's all me, and I'm going to do anything I can to make sure you have as little as possible, or you're just getting paid your little share, your performance share, that doesn't set up to be a good situation for anybody, right? Except for the guy that's getting all the green beans. Bands like U2 that have been around forever, you know, you don't know who the drummer and the bass player or whatever, they're getting their 25%. 25% of $1 zillion is pretty damn good. But, you know, the bands that you say these members have been around forever, I'm willing to bet that they all get a songwriting credit. They all get an equal share of the songwriting credit. So what say you on the W.A.S.P. 40th anniversary tour? It said, you know, 8 dates in the UK, but there wasn't no big list of shows in the United States. And if you've heard Eddie Trunk go on about it, he talks about how Blackie Lawless and the W.A.S.P. band won't play in the United States because it's tiny clubs, and he's got a great big mic stand that he wants to use. Although every time I've, you know, mentioned the great big mic stand, he's always using that one. You know, but I did see W.A.S.P. a bunch of years ago in a small club. I mean, it held about 300 people, and it was packed to the rafters. And there was warnings, no filming, no pictures, no nothing. If you guys are good enough, he's going to perform the entirety of an album. I don't want to say it was the Crimson Idol or it was Golgotha or something. If you're quiet, if you're patient, and you're good boys and girls, and you let him get through this entire album, at the very end, if there's no picture flashes, there's no videos being taken, and there's no goofing around, no wedgies, no goofing off, Mr. Lawless will perform some of your favorite hits that you've all paid, you know, $45 to come in and see. At the end of the show, he will play those 3, 4, 5 songs. And he did play Fuck Like a Beast, and he played I Want to Be Somebody, and Wild Child, and I Want to Say Love Machine. And, you know, I guess for the most part, it was worth the asking price. I wasn't familiar at the time with his kind of concept albums, and that it was going to be a full-on beginning to end like we were at a Broadway play kind of a thing. You know, you're at a rowdy bar and people are drinking and going, screaming, "Fuck like a beast, man," or where's Chris Holmes or whatever. But everyone, you know, sat through, waited, and he performed those songs. And for that, I thank him. In other off-paced and wacky news, update on we did a video autopsy on when Vince Neil fell off the stage and broke his ribs. And I saw this here that said Nikki Sixx got an update. So let's see how he's doing there. Members of Motley Crue had a rough go at it last week. Both, what's this? With both drummer Tommy Lee and singer Vince Neil sustaining separate slip and fall incidents. When did Tommy Lee fall down? Well, the only collateral damage of Lee's mishap was some wet clothes. Did he fall in a pool? You're such a knucklehead, you silly ding-dong. Neil's, which took place mid-show with his solo band, resulted in some broken ribs, a trip to the hospital, and doctor-mandated downtime. It's the only time that man will stay down, is when the damn doctor says, you just go ahead and relax, Vince. Now Neil's bandmate bassist Nikki Sixx, who did not slip and fall last week, to our knowledge, has offered an update on the singer's condition. Let's see what he says here. Without that tape, it's all completely black, so you can walk forward thinking there's still stage there and fall off. I've done that myself. Vince and I were laughing about it one time. We both fell off the stage at the same show. But he was really lucky. He said if it wasn't a song that he was playing rhythm guitar on, it could have been his head. But he wasn't playing the guitar in the video because they played "Girl Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away," and he had the guitar, but he took the guitar off because he wanted to get the crowd clapping. Which could have been worse injury. The guitar broke his fall. No, that's not right, is it? He didn't have the guitar on. Boy, that poor guitar, man, it is nothing but matchsticks now, I'll tell you that. But he'll heal up and we'll be ready to go on tour in June. This tour's been postponed twice. We just didn't have enough information at the time with the protocols and all to go and do a stadium tour. We're all feeling good about it now, and we can't wait, man. And then you got some tour dates here. Are they coming to your town? I'll roll through these real slow. You're not going to see this if you're paying attention to the audio version, but Neil has been the subject of much ridicule of the late series of shows this past summer with his solo band, at which his vocals were embarrassingly bad. You know, you got to go to the metal websites for all of this stuff. They have their pulse on everything that's hard rock and heavy metal. So the pulse is, perhaps it's not alive and well, but it's still beating. I mean, I think it's perfectly okay. This is a bad joke. And I'm going to explain this to you. I was going to go into the heart of rock and roll is still beating. And from what I've heard, I believe him, you know, the old Huey Lewis song, but it fell flat. And that's just the way this is going to go, my friends. It's just the way this is going to go. Poetry. Are you a poetry fan? Are you, well, have you ever heard of a band? They're the godfathers of heavy metal here. Bill Ward, drummer extraordinaire for, used to be Black Sabbath. He's been writing Halloween poems. And so what I thought I would do for you now is read one of his poems in a very Halloween-esque situation. This is called Cold and Dark, hashtag Halloween 2021 Little Pumpkin. That's not the name, total name of it. The name of it is Cold, ... and Dark. But Bill Ward has put a hashtag 2021 and a little pumpkin, little jack-o'-lantern. The creaky old floor, I've heard it before, but this cold is new to me, and accounting to make sure I'm right is completed in my memory. Yes, it's new and very cold. I think I have a new friend who is beside me, out of sight. Are you to assist with an end? An end, perhaps, where I'm ridiculed too? Jesus. Whoa. Where I'm included too. There we go. To me, cold, and what's part with you? I am of the grave, where it's dark and cold. I'm not there. I'm not here for you. Should get some better glasses. Even though your journeys grow old, I am here to bring dread for those asleep in their beds, for those lost in the dark, and much more. I'm cold, I bring shivers. Geez, you're a real downer there, Bill. When it comes to me, I deliver. I'll crawl up your back and get in your bones, make them quiver. See, I don't have the timing, the poem timing, because I'm cold, I bring shivers. When it comes to me, I deliver. I'll crawl up your back and get in your bones, make them quiver. Jesus, it's like I've never read a day in my life. Your bones make them quiver. If it's Halloween night, then stand by for a fright. I can't wait to brush past you. Oh, what a delight. Let the clock never chime that tells me it's time to return to my grave. And the dark, after all, I am Halloween's friend, who came to extend some Halloween cheer and smidgen of fear. This isn't a very good poem, Bill. As I did 100 years ago before that fall. Yeah, I didn't get any of that. Anyone? Let's watch Gene Simmons choke up a booger in this interview. Gene Simmons, he's Us Magazine. He's been talking about everything from, Billie Eilish and Led Zeppelin to apologizing to David Lee Roth because he said a bunch of things about David Lee Roth being old and washed up. But what I noticed here is that the guy he's probably got sleep apnea. Gene Simmons, he's completely stuffed. He looks swollen in the cheeks. And he's just completely stuffed up. And then the guy asks him a question, and he chokes one right into a napkin. And the dude's been around so damn long, and he's so old. He's been through several world wars. He's been to the top of the mountain. He's rocked hard. He's got platinum albums. He's the man that says he slept with 1,000 women or something like that. And so you can just choke up a boog and spit it in a napkin any old place you want, including the prestigious Us Magazine. Here he is going to start by going off about streaming music and how once you let a fox into the hen house, they fuck all the hens, or once you let a fox into the hen house and they kill all the hens, then all the foxes come back to kill more hens, is essentially what he's getting at, where he's saying the fans ruined rock and roll because of streaming music, because they want to take the records. It's like, that didn't just happen to heavy metal and hard rock. It happened to country. It happened to rap. It happened to everywhere. Streaming music, if Gene Simmons isn't aware, you can listen to all kinds of music, world music, reggae. I was listening to yodeling. There's a whole playlist of yodeling music on the streaming services. And I'll tell you what, if you're having a lousy day and you can't understand any of it because it's in German or, Czechoslovakian or whatever, but I'll tell you what, you listen to a handful of yodeling songs and whatever you're pissed off about will go right away. I mean, instantly you are just going, man, you know what? I might be pissed off at my wife, or I might be mad at this, or my boss is being a jerk, didn't give me that raise, or they screwed up my order at the fast food place. You go ahead and turn on a couple yodeling jams, and tell me how you feel about it afterwards, because there's something magical in there, something ridiculous, something amazing, and something magical. But any kind of music that you're a fan of, the streaming services now carry. So he's going to start with the fox in the hen house, and he's going to choke a booger.
As soon as you let that first fox into that hen house to take some eggs without paying for it, the rest of the foxes come
He's very
along.
stuffy.
The bands that are out there today, the
Here he goes.
think is worth the ticket price, no
Right.
matter what number they put on the front of that. You mentioned Maroon 5, for example.
Jesus. Is there anything more sexy than a 70-year-old man choking up into a paper napkin? Like all them old timers. My grandfather used to have a cloth napkin in his pocket. Bring it out, blow. He had a massive nose. I mean, it wasn't long. It was just bulbous. It was thick and bulbous, and just blow a big gooey gob in there and stick it right in his back pocket with his change. You can't do that in a pandemic. You can't put your dirty cloth napkin, snot rag in your front pocket with your change and then go ahead and scoop it out and give it to the lady at the 7-Eleven or whatever, the convenience store. But they were all like that. And he's a perfect example. He deserves, a nice registered trademark Kiss snot rag to blow into. And I'm surprised that he doesn't have that, actually. He holds it up. It's a Kiss logo on a snot rag, and you just blows into it, gives it a spit, and goes for it, right? Let's see that again.
The rest of the foxes come along.
The bands that are out there today, is there anyone that you think is worth the ticket price, no matter what number they put on the front of that? You mentioned Maroon.
There's his answer right there, isn't it? He says, of all the bands today, do you think it's worth it? Which ones do you think are worth the ticket price? And that's kind of a subliminal. I don't think any of it. I don't think a damn bit of it is worth a piss. Kiss is the best, and screw all the rest, right? And last, but definitely not least, I don't know how long these episodes are going to be, but they're going to be as long as I make them, I guess. Danzig, are you familiar with Glenn Danzig? He's now a movie maker. Danzig, if you don't know who he is, Glenn Danzig, Danny to the Izig. He was in the Misfits, right? And he was in Sam Hain. And he was also done his solo stuff with, Mother and Twist of Cain and stuff. But he's also makes movies for Cleopatra Records. And he's made Veronica. And that was, if you're a fan of not good movies, but there's a lot of nudity in them, you'd probably like that movie. But he's got a new one here called Death Rider in the House of Vampires. And he's going to tell us that it's coming out in August, right? The thing that throws me off is how horrible this video is. I mean, if you are the writer, director, and cinematographer for your movies, and then you put out a 10-second video that looks like this, it makes people go, why would I want to go see that movie? Death Rider in the House of Vampires, and this is the official Danzig Veronica Entertainment YouTube channel. And just watch this.
Hey, this is Glenn Danzig. Come check out my new movie, Death Rider in the House of Vampires, opening August 27th at an Imagine Theater near you.
Does anyone know what Imagine Theaters are? I'm not familiar with that company or whatever, but that looks horrible. I mean, it's like, yeah, we need a quick, okay, how about an 11-second video that's choppy and horribly pixelated, and I'll be in front of my fireplace. If that's what they're going for, then that sounds great. I don't know why that guy isn't out there doing a bunch of press for it. I'd be damn curious if anyone's seen it. I think might try and hunt it down on a pay-per-view or something just to take a peek at it. But if you're interested in seeing, is it called Veronica? I want to say it is. It's from his comic books because he's also a comic book writer and novellist. So any information I can get from you guys in the comments below would be much appreciated on that. I don't know how long this episode is. I don't know how long they will end up being, but I will try and put these up every week, and maybe it'll be something that might be interested. You might be interested in listening to or watching or what else, but whatever else. And maybe my mouth will start talking better too. It's very weird because I don't understand why I'm such a mush mouth today. But that's all I got for this. So won't you join me, Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo? Wouldn't it be fantastic if I could get a couple of, I guess some rockers, some rock stars of some sort, some level, some type, and we just talk about the news of the day or the news of the week. I think that would be interesting instead of going, hey, you're a good singer, man. How did you get started and stuff? If you just got something to kind of bounce things off of, that might be fun. So if James Hetfield is interested, or Dave Mustaine, or Glenn Danzig, or Bill Ward, or someone like that, or Vince Neil, or Nikki Sixx, if you're interested, call me, get a hold of me, and let me know. That's all I got for this. Swinging in, swinging out. And I hope you enjoy this, and we'll see how it goes and see if we can keep doing these. I'll put them up every Saturday, and so they'll go live at some point on some maybe the Spotify and the iTunes and stuff like that. All right, that's all I got. Swinging in and loving you so much. All right, here comes your kisses. You want them? Here it comes.